I think the first thing we need to do is set some red lines. One of the red lines is no more support for Israel, not not defensive weapons, as the so-called defensive weapons, which Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez continuously votes to support, like the Iron Dome, which is designed to allow Israel to conduct one-sided slaughters on Gaza. Nothing, nothing, no more. And if you support that, we're not going to vote for you.
Many of us think that you're the greatest journalist of our time, if not all time. No, many of us. And I want to know, how is it that the right wing can basically elevate a right-wing demented game show host, and we can't get an intellectual, a left-wing intellectual. I don't mean to presume that you're left-wing, but you seem, perhaps, why we can't get you guys to run for office?
I don't have any interest in being a part of US electoral politics. That's why I'm able to speak my mind. And if I were to run for position anywhere, it would probably be within the Democratic Party. And the Democratic Party would proceed to try to destroy my life. And they would even take measures to, when you can ask Matthew Ho about what was done to Jill Stein in North Carolina, where Democrats would send campaign workers to people's doors to intimidate them because they were registered with the Green Party. They would actually go to people's doors to frighten them against voting for Jill Stein. So they're operating at that level. It is an authoritarian, anti-democratic party, and I have no place in it. And you can see what it's doing to sort of soft left or soft social democratic figures like Zohran Mamdani, where it's sort of a pincher attack. Chuck Schumer's refusing to endorse him. Hakeem Jeffries barely endorsing him. Barack Obama's moving in to co-opt Mamdani and make sure that no real change takes place. And then there's Graham Plattner in Maine, who's leading in the polls, and the Democratic Party is dumping any, opposition research they can find on him to paint him as a Nazi, to expose him supposedly for having declared that he was a communist when he was younger. Oh no, it's not working. It's backfiring on them, but they're eating their own, and they will destroy their own in order to maintain the losercrats that are in charge of the party. And there's nothing I can do about that. So there does need to be a hostile takeover of the Democratic Party, but that's not even possible until the party is really brought to its knees. And I think the first thing we need to do is set some red lines. One of the red lines is no more support for Israel, not defensive weapons, as the so-called defensive weapons, which Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez continuously votes to support, like the Iron Dome, which is designed to allow Israel to conduct one-sided slaughters on Gaza. Nothing, nothing, no more. And if you support that, we're not going to vote for you. We're not going to be shell-shocked by the Trump era into voting for a pro-Israel Democrat who supports abortion rights. There needs to be a red line there. And there need to be other red lines. And so I think the most important thing to do is organize people at the base of the party, progressive-minded people, into forming an anti-genocide, anti-war bloc that will not give them our votes until they do what we want. And that's something that just you see is much more present on the right and is changing politics within the Republican Party. The Democratic Party is actually much more repressive and authoritarian towards its own base than the Republicans.